Welcome back to realvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith. I've got another property for you. I was working on the website and I saw a new property just show up, and it's called it's 124 acres in Southern Oregon. So right up here over my head, 124 acres in Southern Oregon. This is near Klamath Falls, and I'd like to show this one to you. So I got the website pulled up here. I got it pulled up on the map search. So we've got the whole country here, a bunch of different properties up for sale, a bunch of different ones sold. I mean, many times more sold than are for sale. But and I'm planning on cleaning that up. It's just getting a little too busy to look at all of these here. But for now, I've got a whole bunch of properties on the website. And as we zoom into Oregon, we've got a bunch of properties in Oregon. And as we look at Southern Oregon, just north of Klamath Falls, we've got a couple of them up here. All this green is national forest. There's a lot of state forests and parkland and stuff in between. This little town up here called Beatty, I think they've got a post office. That's probably about it, like a crossing in the road, really, where you can get your mail. But then there's a stream just north of it, Sprague River. Sprague River's here, and this river does a couple branches. And I've seen pictures of people fly fishing in this river and rafting and kayaking and stuff. It looks beautiful. I've never been there. I'd love to go check this river out and see what kind of fish I could catch. Probably brown trout and rainbow trout, maybe some other kinds of trout. But further out, we've got Crater Lake National Park. That's another place I'd really love to visit in this area. And I've got cousins scattered around the area too I'd like to visit. I mean, I visited them when I was really young, so I've been to the area for that, but to Klamath Falls. But I've never spent a whole lot of time here exploring and fishing and checking out the woods. This lake is just north of this particular property. This river is just south of this particular property. And as we zoom in, there's Route 599 is the name of the roads, County Road 599. And I believe that goes to the property. We're going to look at the maps of the property a little bit closer. As I was saying, this one just showed up and I haven't had a chance to really study it yet. So normally you just click on it and you go to the property, but I already got it pulled up over here, so I'm just going to go to that. So right here over my head, it's listed by Aaron English. So Aaron English owns the property. He's got it up for sale. He's selling it by owner, for sale by owner. You're paying him. You're doing the deal with him. It's not me selling the property. I'm just presenting it to you. He's for sale by owner selling the property. So hits his name and number up there. You do deals with him. He's asking $51,979 or $5,000 down and $500 a month for 200 months. So look at that. You can get 124 acres with $5,000 down. So he's doing owner financing, $5,000 down, $500 a month for 200 months. You guys can do the math on that. I'm sure it's higher than he's asking the cash price, but still he's offering owner financing on 124 acres. So I've had a lot of people asking for big acreage kinds of deals, and especially owner financing. And here we go. We got owner financing on big acreage. So thanks, Aaron, for posting this on the website. Keep them coming. Let's take a look at this map. So here's the map with roads and lot lines and stuff. So, and we'll do 3D on this too. We'll try to figure out if this might be the top of the hill. I'm thinking we're in the top of the hill. So this is just south of that lake, the Wild Billy Lake I was just telling you about. So there's Wild Billy Lake is just north of it. And I've seen pictures of people fishing in that lake on other properties I was researching in the area. I've had numerous properties around the area. And this river, up along the river, I've had properties along this river. That river just looks so inviting to go down there and go fishing. I love fishing. I don't know if you hear me say fishing 5 times a minute, but that's where my passion is. And just look at this river. It's weaving and winding all over the place. Every one of these turns, I'm sure there's holes in there with a bunch of trout hiding and go try to catch. Different times of the year, different bait, different approaches, catch different fish. But so let's get back to this property. This might be that Highway 599 we were just looking at. Let's see if we turn it over to a map. See what happens. Yeah, so okay. So here's 599, Drews Road, County 599 is just south of the property. And it looks like you go up here, Oregon Pines Road, and come back around. That looks like it clips the top part of the property. Let's see if we got street view anywhere around here. I was going to say I doubt it, but it does. It pops up. So let's start here and let's look up at the property. I think it's going to be up a hill. Oh, look at that. There's some cattle. So there's some cattle between here and the property is probably the tops of these hills. So I think you see some trees on where the elevation changes and then it flattens out up top, I believe. We'll try to do 3D here in a little bit. But this looks like a nice green area here, and this from this angle But I think you keep driving up this road and around and come back from the top. There's some water, streams, more cattle. This looks like my wife would love this kind of countryside for her horses. There's a power line running down the road. And this country up here looks like it'd be fun for deer and, you know, building a cabin with a view. So let's get out of this view. Let's go back a little bit. So we were just down here looking up at the property. Let's see what happens if we go up here and we look at the turnoff where you'd try to drive over there. I think I just missed it a hair. So here's a turnoff to the property. Yeah, so there's a name on there. Yeah, Oregon Pines. So you take Oregon Pines Road. So it looks like a gravel road. You drive up there, and the stream follows this valley down there somewhere. But you drive up and around and back around these hills to the property. So let's see. So if we're back here and we got the satellite view, I mean, this is a big chunk of land, so I'm sure there's a bunch of areas in there you could figure out. So we were just up here looking north along the river and these hills, so it goes up and then it goes up the hill. We don't have street view over here, but we can do Google 3D and see what kind of topography we've got in the area. Let's see. So it's this whole area here. Let's see if the computer will keep up with me. Yeah, so we were down here looking at the cows in these hills, right? And we were seeing the hills in the background with the trees on them. And then at the tops of those hills with the trees is where this property would be. So you could build up on one of these ridges looking down over the trees and then the cows in the valley below. And then further down the valley, you could see the river. Or you could maybe build this way looking out at the lake. I'm not sure what the views of the lake would be up here. I'd probably rather be looking over the valley. So here's a shot of this road coming up from behind, coming up through these hills and going this way over towards the property. And the property would be over here, like this whole section of hill over here, looking over the valley. You can see that river winding through. So I bet you if you built up on the hill over here, looking down at that river, that'd probably be ideal. And the way you got a whole bunch of coastline along this hill to figure out where the best views are and angles to the sun and the wind and everything else. 124 acres is a bunch of land. So you could probably run your own cattle up here on that kind of land, or some horses or dirt bikes and four-wheelers or whatever it is you want to do. Shoot your guns. Have room for your kids and grandkids to move in if that's what you want. But that river comes through and comes around and goes down. They're using that river to irrigate the whole valley. So we'll jump back to the property. The link to this is down below in the description, so you can go hit that link and come back to this website, ruralvacantland.com, to get directions. There's GPS coordinates to go visit the property, a bunch of GPS coordinates to the boundary of the property, the parcel number, and it looks like Aaron's got it set up. So let's see if you can buy the whole property. You put a down payment down or something. He's got it set up so you can buy the whole property. So if you got room on your debit card or something, I think if you click through here, you can use ACH and use your banking account information to go for it too. And then if you want to do the 5,000 down, 500 a month, he's got it set up for that. So you could pick which one. You click on that. It's 5,000 down, 500 a month. It recurs for 200 periods. And there you go. So put your information in here and hit next. Put your payment information in there, and it's your land. 124 acres of land in southern Oregon. It's a good spread. So there you have it. Big chunk of land in southern Oregon. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com, bringing you a nice big one to go look at, figure out what you're going to use all that land for. Send me some pictures. I'd love to hear the stories. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again in the next one.